Live.
Hello.
If
I
not,
guess
I'm
we
not
just
talking
went
to
live.
anybody. Welcome to another episode of the podcast with the. Well, I don't know. I was going to say the mostest. That doesn't really. We need some better slows. I need to spend some more time on this show when I'm not on the show. Because I start the show and then I suddenly remember all these things about the show that I thought about last week that I was going to do on the show next week, and then the show comes around and I haven't done them. And well, that's a bit like my life altogether. Because today I'm 54 years old. Or
Happy
54 years
birthday,
young.
Chuck.
Thanks. Yeah, 54 years young, as I like to say, because we're none of us getting any younger. But, you can age as slowly as you like.
or or as slowly as you're allowed to.
Or as slowly as you're allowed to. Yeah, like the trouble is, you're not a brain in a glass jar. I'm pretty certain about that. I'm pretty certain I'm not a brain in a glass jar. Because my will is not the only will. There's the will of all the other people around me, and they're all real people. And as an empathic human being, I understand and appreciate that they're real people with their own real feelings and all these different feelings. So that's why when you say I want to manifest a Porsche in my garage on Tuesday morning, it's not so easy to do. Actually, that's very easy to do. I can very easily manifest a Porsche in my garage, fairly easily. Probably, I've not tried it before, but
You should try it.
timelines are very difficult with manifestation. There's no timeline. If you read The Secret, you'll realize there's no timeline to manifestation. But
Well, I
you
mean,
manifest it, and I could manifest that Porsche in my garage. I just have to go down to the Porsche dealership, sign a piece of paper, and I have a Porsche in my garage. Now, whether he can keep it in my garage is a different question. So that would require even more hard work and dedication, because that's what you need. As Roy Castle said, dedication is what you need. And if you don't know who Roy Castle is, look him up. He's a world record holding tap dancer.
I'm gonna look him up. Wait, what did you say? What do you need?
Dedication is what you need.
Arnold Schwarzenegger said something like that. He said, if you focus enough on something, you'd be like amazed at what you can get. He was all about focus in this quote that I read.
Yes, well, but here's a lesson: is that 100% focus. Yes, it might work, but 100% focus takes your eye off the other ball. So usually 80% is good enough, and the universe will sort of decide if it's good for you anyway. Because like you could, lost my headphones there. You could decide that you really want something really badly, and you sort of go for it, and then you get it, and then you're like, oh shit, I didn't really want this. You went through all sorts of obstacles to manifest it, and then it finally manifests, and you're like, what the hell have I done? So that's the problem too. And like me, so
Wait,
you have to have some sort of trust in the universe. All those empathic people in the universe out there that some of them want well for you, assuming you wish them well, they wish you well.
are you
Um,
using your special podcasting mic, or are you using your
oh,
laptop thing?
am I all crackly? I'm a little far away, but let me just
I heard
check.
some crackles, and I was like, I bet Chuck's using his good old
Audio.
Mr. Crackle, his
Default
venerable Mr. Crackle
microphone,
microphone.
USB audio. The trouble is, and I'm not using Bluetooth.
Hey everyone, say hello to Jesus. He's right behind me.
Okay. Oh, yeah. How's
There,
that? Am I better now?
he's turning. He's not turning water into wine. He's turning air into wine, and he's blessing it with a halo. Oh, a holy Jesus halo. Jesus.
Well, okay. Now you're questioning: is there this sort of external God or Jesus? Well, there's definitely all those other people in the universe. They're definitely all out there, and some of them definitely believe in Jesus. And things in our imagination, as Alan Moore taught us, they're the only things we can be sure do exist. The thoughts in our head.
They sure feel like they exist.
The thoughts in our head exist. Beyond that, we don't really know. But I assure you, I think other people exist. I think the universe there's a universe that's somewhat benevolent in that it got very bored with the oneness of being, and so it sort of flexed and stretched itself whatever ways it could, and it finally popped this out, this current iteration of whatever we're in.
You're making me feel so significant. Thank you.
Well, you're a little slice of it though. That's the important thing. Like something. I think your brain does something to concentrate the inherent consciousness of the universe. It's all throughout in every rock and star, but it's like sort of like gravity is sort of like all the different forces work in different ways. And I think consciousness is a force. So there was some new sweeping theory of nature just proposed. I haven't really looked at yet, but
In Nature, the magazine.
No, of nature, like how,
Oh,
like
of nature.
like natural selection. It's sort of like a sweeping advance on like all systems in nature that they're proposing, which is quite interesting. I was reading about. I
A
didn't read
sweeping
enough.
advance?
A sweeping advance has
A
been
sweeping
made this
advance.
week.
Is it different than like, like Darwin stuff?
It's a sort of stepping it up from survival of the fittest, which people often mistake survival of the fittest as meaning survival is the healthiest, but fittest literally means the best fit in the given situation. So like a jigsaw puzzle, a piece that fits the best with the other pieces around it.
It might not be the
That's
best looking piece,
yeah. Well,
but it
it
fits.
fits, but it's like a crocodile. It fits very well its environment in the bottom of the swamp.
I was going to say that, there's an argument. I don't know if you've seen it. There's an argument that intelligence has little to do with survival. If you look at this planet, for example, the things that have survived the longest are not nearly the smartest things, like sharks, alligators. There's so many things that have been here longer than people have.
Yes, but I would question whether it's really all that great being a alligator in the bottom of the swamp. And I would suggest that it's better to be like the bird, sort of aspiring for the sky. But we're like even more like our brains. Like I don't know, the dinosaurs. Unless there were some super intelligent dinosaurs that sort of were quite humanoid and wiped each other out in a very
Ooh,
brief space of
there
time, which
were.
we can't really detect in the
There
fossil
actually
record.
were some of those on a recent Rick and Morty. Actually, not a
Yeah.
recent one, but, a season or two ago. Super intelligent dinosaurs returned to the Earth.
Yes,
And they
yes, yes.
solved
That
everyone's
was a Tales of
problems.
the Watcher or something way back when. It was like quite a short one, but all these spaceships invade Earth, and out come all the out come all the T Rexes going. What the
Maybe
hell?
maybe that
The
was a
mammal we go
nod.
away for a few million years, and the mammals have taken over everything.
Maybe that was a nod to whatever you're talking about. This
I
Rick
think
and
so. That was
Morty.
I was either in Judge Dredd or Tales of the Watcher, or one of those things I read as a kid in the 70s.
Do you watch Rick and Morty on a regular
I'm
basis?
not very caught up on it. No.
I wonder how many references you'd catch that. I mean, they do have a lot of references to other things, like a lot of media does these days. And I wonder if you'd catch a whole bunch that I missed. For example, that dinosaur one.
Yeah, yes, I haven't seen a lot of them at this point,
No,
but because they've had quite a few seasons since I last watched it. But I will watch it all through. I think it's brilliant. Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's almost so much. It's like, oh, this is very fine, rarefied stuff, and I don't want
it
to consume it all in one swift gulp.
it makes me laugh. Yeah, but my memory is so shitty, right? Well, my memory's always been shitty. That's one thing that's nice about my memory. It's like it's not like I'm getting old and my memory's going bad. It's like my memory was always bad, and I'm also getting old. So like age is not an excuse for my memory at this point. It was never good, but now I'm forgetting what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, so even if you binge watch them if you binge watch them in like weeks or whatever,
Yeah,
like let's say you binge watch all the episodes and you do it in like a month or two. Let's say a month. That's some pretty good binge watching because I think it's 7 seasons.
I did some that binge watching in the pandemic, but I don't know if I can really. I
Yeah,
don't really
even
do
if
it
you
every.
did
I
that,
don't do it otherwise. Yeah.
you could rewatch them again in like another couple months because you're gonna forget a lot of them.
The thing is, it's a show that requires a lot of concentration. Yes, and you do forget it. And I have seen
It does.
some
It
episodes I've
does.
seen several times.
Yeah.
That's the trouble is I sort of going fairly slowly. I keep sort of going back and sort of rewatching the beginnings. Really good sort
Yeah,
of
there's a
understanding
lot
of
in there too. And there's a lot of stuff in there. It's actually not really a passive show. Like you have to pay attention because stuff comes back,
Yeah,
storylines continue.
yeah, like Arrested Development as well. Like was like that. In that, it didn't really work the old model. I was able to binge things like Star Trek and Doctor Who, and Star Trek most easily. Star Trek is very easy to have on in the background while you're like doing some colouring or painting or something, because you don't really need to look at it at all. Like they do, the story is well conveyed by the actors. You know what the basic sets are. You just have a glimpse and see what the villain of the week looks like, and the girl of the week, whatever. Like once you know what they look like, you don't actually really need to be looking at it to
You're saying
understand,
it's like
almost completely
formulaic?
understand the story.
You're saying it's kind of like formulaic? The
It's
Star
not this
Trek?
formula. It's just, I'd say, okay. It's good. I'd say it's good, clear, clean writing. It's well conveyed. It's well portrayed. And that's part of why it's held up. I mean, it's a good science fiction stories, well told. But you can listen to it like I would listen to an audiobook. Like Doctor Who, I could also sort of do that. But Doctor Who actually required that I had to sort of pay a little more attention because there were slightly more, complex ideas and the production value was lower. So there's more stuff you're like, well, I don't quite understand what's going on here. Maybe.
Amber said something in the chat. She said, "Sorry, I have to miss the show tonight. I got home too late."
Okay. Well, we did make her carry it though. So all you need to do is you just need to take last week's show and this week's show and superimpose them, and then we'll have a regular show. But I don't know if you'll have any more viewers. You might have more viewers on Amber's show than on this show.
We could double the viewership from 3 to 6. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I have a question for you about viewership numbers, but do we dare have it on the air?
No.
And discourage people?
I don't know. Look, we get more viewers if we have a good guest on, or any guest on.
Tina's here, that fan of ours from Denmark. She's a huge fan and a Danish social influencer.
Yes.
Tina.
Okay. Well, I got a nice fan in Sweden was tuning in on my last Goodman Games live stream and asking me some good questions. So that was good. I don't know what time it was in Sweden because it was sort of 3 PM. So like they're like 9 hours. He was like 6 AM or something. Now I'm thinking about it. He must have been some sort of like night watchman or something.
Or just like a farmer. He's like, oh, I hear the rooster. Before I go out there and milk the cows, let me get my stream on.
I know. I've got a great guest from Denmark though. This guy Lars, who's like a family member. Like he's sort of smuggled people out of Soviet Russia in a trunk and done all sorts of amazing things.
Oh shit, that sounds cool.
And he was really early in on technology and stuff like that. He was a sort of early, he was a really interesting character.
I wish I got early in on anything, man. Like I wish I got early in on the internet, early in on Bitcoin, early in on. I remember when Amazon went on sale, that stock went on sale, and I was like, $300 a share. That's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, of course.
What is it worth now?
Well, it's probably not doing that great right now, but if you had bought it when it first went public, which was, I don't know, 15 years ago. When did Amazon go public? 15, 20 years ago?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not giving stock advice. The whole thing sort of sickens me. You've got to pick the most nauseating psychopaths and put your money on them. And
I think we should give stock advice. Hey, everybody,
they'll increase your money for you.
We got to the segment of the show where we give stock advice. Me and Chuck are giving stock advice. As usual, the disclaimer is
don't give money to corporations in any form.
Yeah, put your money in your mattress.
I don't follow my own advice, but that's what I would like. That's what the advice I would give other people.
I'm divesting from. If I divested from all the companies that I didn't believe in, oh God, I've thought about doing that. I really have. I've thought about like divesting and just saying like, and I am kind of divesting now because of Bitcoin, but basically I just own a whole bunch of American big companies.
Yeah, where are you at with
I disagree with all of them.
Because you were doing like you got some Bitcoin early on, and then you got.
Yeah, when you say some,
I don't know how much. Like a quarter
basically
of Bitcoin.
Zero. Like I got like 0.05 coins. So.
Oh really? Okay, I thought you had like a quarter.
I got 5% of a coin, which is worth thousands of dollars now. But
I don't know. Is it worth worth absolutely nothing at all? But people just believe it's worth thousands of dollars.
Well, I don't know. We'll find out in the future. Hey, wait. Let's look into the future.
I'm pretty sure
now.
It's worth absolutely nothing at all.
Chuck?
That's my prediction for Bitcoin. It's my prediction for NFTs. It's my prediction for the whole internet. It's my prediction for Facebook, for corporations. I think all those things are going away, and we're moving to a more empathic world of people who sort of help each other out, and then they catch the psychopaths. We spot the one person in 100 who's a psychopath, and we make sure that everybody understands that person's a psychopath and where that psychopath is, what they're doing tomorrow.
What was the last thing you said? The internet, Bitcoin,
Facebook, corporations in general.
Oh, Facebook.
People are going to without the psychopaths, people will all happily cooperate. We won't need money. Art will be the primary currency, and the main goal will be to improve the world. The main goal is to improve the world, to make a more beautiful world, so that we can all live happily in a beautiful world where we're well fed, and we can enjoy
We're well fed.
artistic entertainment, like fine artistic entertainment, because we've encouraged people to be artists, so they would beautify our world. We've encouraged like farming and understand agriculture rather than this sort of corporate money making form of agriculture. Sure. Right now, that's the system that's helped us get to a point where we're not all starving to death in our caves. But that's just a transitionary point, and we're moving to something else in the future. I won't be there. I'm like Moses. Maybe we'll reach the edge of the promised land in my lifetime.
You're like
then
Moses.
I'll drop down dead, and I'll consider that's a good job done.
I want to have a little farm.
That's what I'm doing here.
I want to have a little farm and a little garden. Like I want to have some chickens and maybe a cow and a goat, and maybe like. My acreage keeps on increasing. Like first it started off as 20 acres, then it was like 100 acres. Then it was like enough acreage to have a small large pond or a small lake on it. So, but I think 100 acres is pretty good. I think you could probably do whatever you need to on 100 acres.
But it's not just you. In this country, there's just like, I'm a lone man out on the frontier. That's fine. That's great. That's good if there's space somewhere to do that. But the fact is that even that guy that living in his cabin in Alaska, like, will get a shipment of books on a plane once every 6 months or something.
Oh yeah.
There's some sort of connection.
I'm not talking about like trying to isolate yourself from society and.
No, you have to be connected.
Be like 100%. Yeah.
I'm just talking about money's a way of trading off our time and value of our time, but it has got bonkers, in that somehow like this corporate CEO is worth 500 times more than another person. That's bullshit. That's a fucking lie. That whole thing is a lie.
You heard it here first, folks. I'm just like, I like have a little garden. So like kind of what I did here in the city, even though it's just a tiny garden back here, like I was eating salad out of that garden for like 2 or 3 months. And I just had this little patch of salad, and every day I'd go out and I'd clip off like the top of it like it was a lawn, and then it would grow again, and because it grows pretty fast in the summer, and then you clip it down again, and then you just eat that as your salad. And I'm like, dude, if I had 20 acres, man, I'd be like having all kinds of salad and eggs. In fact, the guy that's living on my land right now, apparently he's got a bunch of chickens.
Oh.
Yeah. But
hitch your wagon to a chicken and ride the Milky Way. That's what my hero Oat Willie said. And if you know what I'm talking about, you get a gold star.
I do not. Can I still get a gold star?
No. You get a red stripe.
Well, this is one of the saddest streamcasts I've done so far. I thought I was going to get a gold star. I didn't mention it at first because I didn't want to jinx it. And now that it's gone, I'm deeply sad.
Okay, you did get a gold star earlier for the birthday song you sent me. That was
got a gold star for that. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. I seriously took the strings off my guitar the other day, and it's so crusty. I was like, I have to clean it, so I haven't restrung it yet. So I tried my hand at piano, which I've tried many times. I'm just saying I can't play piano. I'd like to play piano, but I got to get on this drum thing. I think piano is if I take up another instrument. Like if I seriously invest time in another instrument, it will be piano.
But you have some problems with your hearing and tinnitus.
Not really.
No,
where'd you get this intel from?
Well, because you're just very good at protecting your hearing then, because you're always putting in.
Oh yeah. I am. I'm super careful about my hearing because, I did the thing that a lot of musicians do when they're young, like in my 20s. I was in lots of loud bands, and every practice your ears ring, and it feels really good. And it probably still feels really good, except for now I'm like, well, I don't want to go deaf. I'm thinking a little bit more long term. So now I really like protect my ears. And I have had like tinnitus every once in a while. I still get something that just, I don't know if it's like this for you, but for me, it'll be like, everything's cool, everything's quiet, and all of a sudden, boo, and it'll hang around for a little while, and then it'll stop.
Yes, you'll get a full-on boo. Yeah, I get more of a sort of general static hiss. But I guess I'll something like that. But I've been more. I haven't exposed my ears to so much probably loud music and stuff like that. I had a period where I was trying to listen to audiobooks on the bar, and that set me off really badly. It was a really stupid thing to do.
Hey, I had a period where I was trying to listen to audiobooks near a rocket launch in Cape Canaveral, and it turns out hear those books correctly, my ears had to bleed a lot. And
Yeah, it was really stupid. It was like audiobooks were quite new, and I had one of those little devices that would just sort of kind of play audiobooks or whatever. I forget what they were even called.
so you're like on the bar, like while it's like wailing away.
Yeah, with the volume like
And
all.
you're like,
Well, it was only
I'll
a
fix
short
you.
ride. But after doing this for a little while, I suddenly realised I had this really bad tinnitus. I mean, I could say it never really went away. Actually, I mean, it sort of has. You know, I learned to manage it, and you know, and I would say that, you know, again, it's more like it's an awareness thing, and actually, it's also like a lot of the cure of it is about sort of retraining your brain with hearing. So it's not so, you know, because it's a bit of a confusing thing, and I think it is actually more in the wiring of your brain and how your brain is wired up to your ears than anything.
You don't think it was the Bart and the loud noise?
No, but it's not like a physical thing, like it broke the drum. It's more like it sort of fused the circuits.
Interesting. I never looked into it that much. I just, when I started to get it, I started to note it, and you know,
yeah, and
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think, you know,
I
think, but I was recently reading about it because you know, our mutual friend was going through some of that, and
Still?
yeah, well, he didn't like to talk about it on the show.
He did.
He's quite private about stuff, so.
Yeah. You never know who's listening. Could be big tinnitus.
But yeah, I mean, it's very debilitating. And I had other friends who had it, so I was sort of looking into it and looking at different sort of what are the cures, because, you know, I have, you know, and it sort of went away for me over time, and there were certain things like don't drink coffee, don't smoke cigarettes. I think things like
really?
that did help. Yes.
Don't drink coffee?
Yes.
Dude, did I tell you about the last time I quit coffee and the horrible withdrawal I had? That's when I realized like coffee is like a serious, or caffeine, whatever you want to call it, is a serious drug. What are you reading the?
Yeah, well, we can have Lemon back on the show. Lemon, Jonathan Lemon, cartoonist.
Is that Lemon?
What? No, but Lemon, if he comes on the show, he will tell you that coffee, he says, is as bad as every other drug, like nicotine or heroin.
Oh, wait, Chuck, I gotta tell you, I gotta read something very important that's in the comments. Yeah. Hello, sorry for bothering you. I want to offer promotion of your channel, viewers, followers, views, chatbot, etc. The price is lower than any competitor. Chuck, pay attention. This is important.
No.
The quality is guaranteed to be the best, flexible, and convenient order management panel, chat panel. Everything is in your hands. Turn it on, off, customize. Go to Streamrise UR.
What a fucking shithead. Does he think? Do they think we were born yesterday?
Chuck, did you write any?
Is that how you're going to go through life, just sort of taking people for mugs everywhere? Why do you do something helpful and help people?
Chuck, were you taking notes or not? Did you take notes on that?
Oh, I'm poor. I can't do anything else. Fuck off.
Chuck, I don't think you took notes, and I don't think you took this seriously. Do you want more? Hold on here. Do you want more chat panel? Wait, hold on. Channel viewers, followers, views.
No. Oh. I want less. If you're watching this show,
hold on. I'm going to respond to this guy right now. No, thanks.
No, I didn't mean that. If you're watching the show, thanks for
all filled
if you're sending spam to this
here. Okay, so I replied to him. So that problem's taken care of.
Oh, good. Yeah, we got a conversation going now. Maybe if we give him some money, he'll go away. Why didn't you just come and say, I'm poor, I need money?
I don't think that's it.
More people should do that on the internet, just simple begging.
They do that. Have you heard of that? Like, have you heard that's a thing? Do you know about this?
Sure, there's one born every minute.
No, but I mean, there's a thing where you just like beg for money, and I think it's called like beggars or begging or.
Yeah. Well, if somebody's begging for money, I suggest you give them all your money, because money is only poison.
I would prefer to give a person out in the street, like on the street, my money than somebody on the internet, because at least the person on the street, if they're faking, they had to like look really poor, sit on the sidewalk all day. They had to like, you know, work, and it might be legit. But online, it's like it could be literally anybody.
What would happen, do you think, if you get it like if I said, like, I'm just going to give everything I have? Well, I can't because Tina owns half of it. But if I said I'm going to give everything I have to the first homeless person I see.
What would I say about that?
Just trade places. Do you like trade places?
Would I?
What do you think? Would I be happier like Jesus says I would be?
No, you would not be.
Wouldn't I attract a lot of followers now? Like
I guarantee you would.
Look at this crazy dude. He gave his entire.
I pretty much guarantee you would not be happier.
No, you don't. I think I'd be very happy. What's the worst that can happen?
Especially in the short term, as everybody around you would be very upset.
What's the worst that could happen?
Well, the worst that could happen. Well, you'd upset a lot of people that are close to you, but then you'd run out of money.
Why would I upset them?
Well, they'd be like, well, what about like retirement and having a house and not starving and not being on the street?
I don't need to live for that long. I'd be like the Buddha. I mean, old age, that's not good for me anyway. I just will, rely on the comfort of strangers.
Oh, you could. Couldn't you become like a Buddhist monk or something? You could bake bread and drink beer. Well, I don't think they drink the beer. Maybe they probably don't bake bread either if they're Buddhist. I don't know. They probably make some pretty delicious things that aren't psychoactive.
The only thing I'm going to make is cartoons.
Okay. Well, what about food?
And not ones that people like particularly. I mean, I'm not going to sit on the waterfront and draw cartoons.
Well, I support you. I support you in making cartoons that people don't like.
You and your family. I'm going to draw like weird, crazy things that exist in my imagination that you're never going to see anywhere else.
I love this. I fully support it. Wait, aren't you already doing that, Chuck?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. So you don't have to give all your money away, all right? You're already doing it.
I don't have any money. But yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know. It's like more about your time. Time is more precious than money. Money is bullshit. Like all you do with money, like money attracts more money. More money, more problems. What the hell are you doing?
Mo bitches, mo problems.
What is everybody doing?
More money. Oh, dude.
Chasing this bullshit thing, money. Everyone on this planet is chasing bullshit. They chase religion. They're fighting a fucking war, killing thousands and thousands of people are being killed over imaginary fucking friends, people. They don't exist. There's no difference between Arabs and Jews. They're exactly the fucking same. There's no difference. The only difference is they've got a different fucking imaginary fucking friend. Stop killing each other, for God's sake.
Damn,
wake up, humanity. Wake the fuck up.
This shit's going viral. Amber, you got to clip this down. Put this in a clip. This shit is going to launch. Unfortunately, it probably wouldn't because there's probably a whole bunch of other irate people like screaming the same shit online. Although
God is real. God is real. I just said, go back to the beginning of the show. I already explained to you what God is. You are God. You're a little piece of God. You're a little piece of God set here on earth to do whatever the fuck you want to do. But you have to respect all the other people around you.
I had me and my friend, I guess I'll mention his name, Joe. Like, he sent me something that was on Instagram, an account that was on Instagram that was basically like, here's the history of Palestine. Here's all the bad shit that's happened, right? And it was like fucking super depressing, right? And I said to him, I go, that shit is going to get censored. That account, like, just keep your eye on that account. It's going to be gone. And guess what happened? This happened within 2 days of him sending it to me. That account is gone. And there was nothing on that. There was nothing in that post that was like, Jews are bad, kill Israelis. It was like, this is what happens in the Gaza Strip. This is what happens in Palestine. This is how it is. This is what life is like. And it's been scrubbed. And I think there's going to be a lot more of that in the coming days, especially if this thing keeps on going. So get ready to be censored, everybody. Yeehaw!
Yeah, I'm going over there to start shouting at everybody. Maybe that'll help. I'm going to walk up and down the Gaza Strip shouting at everybody. Fuck off.
You're going to the Gaza Strip?
Yeah, I'm giving all my worldly possessions to a homeless person and Tina. I'm going to let a homeless person come and move in with Tina. I'm going to go down to the Gaza Strip by whatever means. I'll hitch a ride. I'm going to walk up and down, find the first Israeli-Jewish conflict I can find, and I'm going to yell at them and tell them they're exactly the fucking same.
This might be the vodka.
Wake up from this nightmare that a psychopath has put you in. A psychopath put you in this fucking nightmare dream. It's not real.
This might be the vodka and juice talking, but can I come with you?
I don't drink. Except on my birthday. It is my birthday, but I haven't had any.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just birthday wishes. It's just birthday wishes. Yeah, I feel like, do as you please on your birthday, which is much more popular than the other holiday, do as we want you to, started by German settlers in 1935.
Charles Kingsley, do as you would be done by. In the Water Babies. That was very popular. I don't know.
It sounds like he ripped off the golden rule from the Bible.
Yeah. He was a Christian minister. But yeah, do as you would be done by.
But I think that the platinum rule, I like the platinum rule better. Instead of it's like do unto others as you have done unto, as you'd like them to do unto you, or some shit like that, right? Which is basically a very you-centric view. It's like, well, hey, I don't like it when people do this to me, so I won't do it to other people. But I do like this, so I can do that to other people. It's very you-centric. The platinum rule is do unto others as they wish you to do unto. So you have to consider them as individuals. Like, for example, I like to kid around a lot, but some people might not like that. It might make them feel uncomfortable. So do unto others as I would do as they, well, whatever. I just get to do whatever I'm comfortable with to everybody because I'm cool with it. But if they're not cool with it, I need to take that into consideration, and I call that the platinum rule, or maybe somebody else does. I don't know. It's a good rule. It's one step up from what I think I topped Jesus on this one. I'm just saying Jesus came up with a pretty good rule, but I think it topped him on this. Okay, sorry, God.
Yeah,
it must be embarrassing that one of these humans you created that's only slightly above average intelligence topped your golden rule with a platinum rule. Mic drop.
I'm going to do a drawing now.
All right.
We've got time for drawing. We haven't got a long show. It's 7 o'clock. All right.
Oh, yeah. That's true. While Chuck's drawing, I'm going to go get another vodka and juice.
No, you've got to play along.
I've got to do stuff?
Yeah, you have to play your guitar.
Oh. Well, I told you I took all my strings off, remember?
Oh, yeah, okay. You took all the strings off.
I took all my strings off. Here, I'll bring over my stringless guitar.
All right.
I'll be
okay.
I'll
you
be
get your
right.
stringless guitar.
Yeah, let me get my stringless guitar.
Put the drawing up here. There we go. Oh, the trouble is I keep putting my camera sideways. Where's the hands? I need that like this. Ooh, why are you not focusing? I've got anything to focus on. All right, maybe I'll put me down small here. How's that?
So,
what's the best way?
Oh, I see how you're making your art, God. But as you can see here, there are no strings on this guitar. So there will be no playing of it.
Oh.
I can do this.
Can you, like, human beatbox or something?
Yeah, sure I can. Yeah.
Ooh. Putting my headphone thing out. I got some new headphones today I was going to use.
So here's the kick. And here's the snare. No, wait, that's not the snare. No, that's not the snare either. Yeah, I think I'm going to abandon this. I got the kick. I think that's what the snare is supposed to be like. And then you have to get really close. And then you should also do a roll like this. Something like that.
Here we go. All right. Well, I don't really know what to draw today, but I've got a picture here of Nina Hagen that somebody posted.
I gotta say your board is a little out of focus, my friend.
Yeah, I'm hoping if I start, either I bust my camera up.
Yeah, let's see if it autofocuses. I'm gonna put my guitar back. I should rewatch that episode when I'm drunk. The drunk episode. I mean, there's a couple of them. There might be more than a couple, but I hadn't done one drunk. Yeah, there you go. Oh.
Is it getting focused? Wait.
Yeah, I'll tell you when you start drawing.
It'll probably once I start drawing, it might be a little.
Yeah, no, it got into sharp focus for a second there.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
Now, when I say it's in focus, don't move, okay? And it'll be perfect. Stop drawing.
Don't move. Like this. There we go. That's good. Now I got to figure out where the edges of the paper.
You should put the sponsors on your bracelets. Whatever sponsors we have, you should have them on your bracelet, all like subliminal. We're sponsored
Well,
by Gold Star. I mean, Silver Star. Silver Star delivers the best, most glittery star party dust that you can imagine. So, if you want your parties to be great, start with Silver Star, the party maker. I got to
all
put this
right.
guitar down.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, oh, yeah. It's a shame because yeah, this would have been a chance for you to do that because I really think we needed like a bit of you strumming on the guitar while I do some drawing.
I'm like a audiophile, and I have feelings. I have feelings about how shitty that might sound. Not
Right.
because my playing sounds shitty. My playing sounds like an angel, but just because actually going through this mic, it might sound all right. Yeah, yeah, it actually might sound all right. I mean, I never listen to the playback of these things, so I'm uncertain. But I do have a nice micro. I mean, this is like you could record a pop album or an album, that's on the radio with this mic.
Well, okay. I mean, I could say the same about these drawings. I mean, they're not going to be like maybe my most technically perfect drawings because I'm sort of just live drawing them,
Well, they better be. That's why I tuned in.
but,
Shit. You
but
saying they're
they'll have a
not going to
different
be?
quality. They're live, and the liveness, you can't beat that quality. So, shall we tell the folks about what we did last night?
Oh yeah.
You can't remember.
Yeah. Here, I'll start it off just to prove that I can remember things that are less than 48 hours ago. Uh, well, we got a really overpriced hot dog.
Oh yeah, that, and I was feeling a bit. I felt a bit unwell today, to be honest, and I feel like it was maybe that hot. I like that hot dog did not make me feel good.
Yeah, we got okay. So we're in San Francisco. I don't know if anybody is. If you're in the chat, can you say something? Or if you're watching this, can you just say hi in the chat? But and where you're from. Anyway, we're in San
Yeah, you might.
Francisco, and we went to this place called like Slick Dog Rick Dog or something like that.
Yeah.
And
In
anyway,
what's that area? Potrero Hill.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind of the flats. It wasn't like on the hill part, but let's just say
Yeah,
San
that
Fran.
area in there is that. Yeah, the flats. What is that? What do you
Yeah,
call that?
yeah. If you live in San Francisco, it's like by Mission Cliffs, that climbing place.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
What is that area called?
I don't know. What would that? It's down by like the Macromedia or the old Macromedia
Oh, yeah,
stuff and
Macromedia. Yeah.
sort of.
Kids
Well,
these
anyway,
days wouldn't know what you're talking about.
that's right. Okay, so let me just skip on to this dog. So I told my friend, who lives in LA, another kind of expensive city. I said we went for these overpriced hot dogs, and he's like, "How much were they? $12?" And I was like, "No, they were 16." And I was like, I thought for 16 you got some like amazing dog with all this sauce, and maybe it was bigger and it came with a bigger, like more awesome, like, you know, gourmet bun. I was like, it came with a regular bun that was cut in half, so there was no bread hinge, like the
Yeah,
hinge
there was
on a
no bread
bun.
hinge. It was all falling apart. It was
Yeah,
like an
there's
overcooked piece of bacon in it.
yeah, there was no hinge to keep the dog in, so you're eating it like a skinny sandwich, and the dog's popping out to the sides, and so is everything else on the dog. And I gotta say, it was an average hot dog for a gourmet price.
Yeah, I mean that was just bullshit. But I mean, okay, I mean maybe their rent's a lot there. I mean,
Yeah,
there was all
the
these sort
rent
of tech
the
people
rent
in there.
is a
There was
lot.
this guy. Do you see the group next to us? It was like a tech guy trying to smooth talk all these engineers. I mean, it was a real Silicon Valley sort of scene.
Oh yeah, that's what I told Joe. That's what I told Joe too. I said, I think the reason that this place can charge $16 for a hot dog is because there's a bunch of like tech guys that are renting in the condos nearby, and it's like the place they can walk to. So
Yeah, they
it's
come
like,
in and
hey,
they do their start. Yeah, I had a friend, a guy I was at college with in England who came over and, in the original .com and was like doing all that. Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's great. If you're 25 years old and you're making 150,000 a year and you're living in a condo nearby, like a $16 hot dog doesn't bother you. But it bothers me. I was bothered. I was bothered. The other thing about it is like, San Francisco food might be expensive, but there's a lot of really good food here, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know how this dog place is going to hold up because they
Well,
got to
restaurants
bring
don't tend to
something.
last long in this town, do they? I mean, like, I heard
So
once
some
that
of them
the
do.
average length they last is 1 year, like, or half of them are gone within a year.
Is that true?
That's the statistic I always heard in San Francisco.
Well, I mean, there's restaurants that I've been to for like until the pandemic. The pandemic put a lot of long-term restaurants out of business,
Yeah,
but
right now it's probably even more. Yeah, yeah. Pandemic put
yeah,
long-term ones out of business, but I mean,
yeah.
just in regular course of business, to last longer, that you got to last that first year because half of them are done in a year.
I mean, the restaurants that have moved into our neighborhood, they've all made it past a year. Um, there was a Michelin, we got a Michelin star restaurant on our corner, which I don't think
Oh
is
yeah, that
really,
place is a Michelin star. It looks nice. Yeah, I was.
yeah.
It looks pretty fancy.
Yeah, so I didn't know that, and I made reservations. My cousin came into town, and I don't know what it was, like $80 for like dinner, and we didn't even like live it up, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's a
And
Michelin
I
star.
mean, it was good, but like, I'm like a value eater. Like, what I mean is like, I want good food at a reasonable price. Like, and I didn't think the price I didn't think the food at that place justified the price. It was good, but was it $80 good? It was not. I'll tell you right now. No.
Well, it's only money. That's easy to say, but if you don't have any, it's not easy to
Chuck's
say.
become a billionaire since he started drawing. That's the attitude of a billionaire.
You can't take it with you. It's all bullshit. It's just imaginary bullshit. All right. The trouble is, the billionaire understands better than you do. Than the poor person, that money is not real. To the poor person, the money seems very real.
Oh, it does seem real. Very real. I wish I had the type of unreal money,
Well,
like the fuck you money. I wish I had that because that feels extra real.
You don't need
Like
any money
that's
to
the
say
type of
fuck
money
you.
I want. Like however unreal that fuck you money is, I want it.
Look, as an American, it's your God-given right to say fuck you.
Yeah, but you can't usually, so you need that money.
Without money, it's
There's a quote from Joe Rogan where he's
money
like,
helps you avoid the consequences of saying fuck you.
yeah, I mean, I would define fuck you money as basically you've got so much money that you can do whatever you want for a living. Like if you want to be an architect, you can do that. If you want to be a photographer, you can do that. If you want to start a website, if you want to be a humanitarian, if you want to be a professional skier, you can do whatever you want. And you can say whatever you want because even if it's really unpopular and people don't hire you and people censor you and people boycott your business, you're still like, yeah, well, I'm fine. That's a nice position to be in where you can't be like, people can't like put pressure on you. And that's what Joe Rogan has.
All right, Bro Rogan. Look, we're trying to maintain a nice, like, liberally democratic.
And that's why I'd like to now I'd like to confess my undying love for Joe Rogan. Joe, if you're watching,
oh no, this
I
show's
love
really
you,
going off
man.
the rails without Amber here. Amber,
I don't care. I knew if Amber wasn't here, I could say this without being interrupted. So I'm saying it now. Joe, I love you, man. Keep on keeping on.
We're gonna be back down to.
You need, but you really do need people with like maybe not fuck you money, but you do need people that are brave. You do need people that are like brave that like call stuff out, like this Israel-Palestine thing. I think a lot of people are scared to basically speak up about things because they're afraid they'll be canceled, and they will be canceled, by the way. But you still need brave people.
The only thing you need to speak up about is reminding everybody that they're fighting over bullshit imaginary friends. There is no difference between an Arab person and a Jewish person. They are the same. They just have different imaginary friends.
Chuck, do you think that's what all the fighting's about? Like your God isn't my God?
There's no difference between any human beings.
What?
There's no difference between any human beings on that level. So just all this bullshit. I'm had enough of it.
Well, I agree it's bullshit, but I don't think they're really fighting about like my God is better than your God.
But yes, they are. That's the only difference between them.
I think there's other differences.
What difference are they fighting about other than that? Because what they keep saying, the Jewish people and the Palestinians. The only difference between Jewish people and Palestinians is they have a different imaginary friend.
I think they eat different food.
They both eat hummus.
Is that true?
Yes.
I gotta look that up. See, the thing is, like, you can make whatever statements you want because I don't know if hummus is eaten by Israelis and Palestinians. I don't know. And I don't want to wreck the flow of this show to go check. If we had Amber here, it would solve all these problems. Amber, we need you.
No, well, I saw a thing that was saying that hummus was one of the few things that they agreed on.
Did you ever see that Adam Sandler movie? You Don't Mess with the Zorro or something like that?
Oh yeah, well, he's a hairdresser. I think I did, although I wasn't.
And
really
he's got these hummus scenes where they're literally like shooting hummus, like he's shooting like hummus.
That's probably where I learned.
Yeah. And I thought I kind of applauded him for doing that because although I do not understand the Middle East, I thought like here's a guy that's trying to use his position to put an end to the ridiculousness. But I think at the core of it, it is not about a shared interest in hummus. That's an unpopular statement, but I'm going to go on the record and say I don't think it's about.
Well, it's about land. Like, can the Arabs live here or the Jews live here? But what's the difference between Arabs and Jews apart from their imaginary fucking friends? It's not even the different imaginary friend. It's the same imaginary friend. It's just that he said different things to them. Nonsense. You're killing it. It's a psychopath. A bunch of psychopaths got together and told you this shit in order for you to kill each other. And who's making the money out of you killing each other? Who's
not
making
me.
money out of it?
Not Chuck. Not me.
Yeah.
We are making no money off of this.
Psychopaths. They're making a fortune off of it.
I would like to get in on that psychopath game. But no one's invited me. Fuckers.
Well.
I want to get invited. If I ever did get invited to the psychopath game, I think I would just be like, not for me. Not for me.
Wait, actually.
I mean, it's not like they would invite me. I mean, especially if they looked at my record. They'd be like, this guy does not look like he's psychopath friendly at all. Why are we inviting him?
Yeah.
They're
inviting you because they're going to hunt you.
What's that?
So they're going to hunt you, right? That's why they're inviting you.
Yeah, they're inviting me for their weekend retreat where they hunt a human.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm like, this is weird. All these powerful people have an interest in me all of a sudden. You think I should go, Chuck?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll come with you and film it for the podcast.
Well, I mean,
we were going to tell the folks what we did last night.
I think. Oh yeah. So after we got,
so we got only got as far as a hot
really
dog.
expensive
That's
hot
the thing. It's
dogs.
like just one little story.
First, we got super disappointed by the expense of hot dogs.
Yeah.
Then we went to an art battle.
Art Battle SF, which is Art Battle's this big international thing apparently.
Art Battle SF. We'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
But it was way better than any of this stupid bullshit wrestling or fighting or any of that crap that you see, or sports. All that bullshit psychopathic crap so that psychopaths can make money off you again.
It was way better than watching.
There were 6 artists in the middle of the room in the Great Northern nightclub.
That's
which
true.
Last time I went there was with Tina for like an ABBA disco thing, which was very packed. But I thought, is there a costume thing? Because there were a lot of people dressed up. I suppose it's sort of Halloween week in San Francisco. Everyone was very festive.
Yes.
And there's artists up on the pedestal in the middle of the room and the DJs at the back and the music's going on and we're going round and round the artists. So you go around these 6 artists and like Greg was part of it and I really wanted to see Greg and I hadn't seen him in a while. Greg, friend of the show, one-time co-host of the show.
True.
And he had a cardboard TV on his head. He was OG TV. Well, I didn't like. He was right in front of us when we came in, but I went all the way around before. I realized
I'm just getting that OG TV. It's original gangster. He's like saying it's original TV. Like it was a cathode ray tube, like a big cube on his head.
Yes.
Like an old school TV. Yeah.
Yes. So
I'm slow.
Good. And
got it now.
Yeah, it took me a while to get it, but then I got it too. I was like, oh yeah, very good. Very good, and he did very well. And so they all painted. They had 20 minutes to do a painting, and then another lot got up after that, and they had 20 minutes. And then I think they sort of wound it, narrowed it down to a single winner at the end. But I'm not sure. We didn't stay right to the end, so we don't know who the final
we
winner
left
was,
because I have an injured foot, and my foot was hurting me.
Yeah.
And Chuck was like, sympathetic. He was like, okay, Chris, if your foot's hitting you. So.
Well, I was tired, and I'm going out tonight. After this, we're going to the Knockout in San Francisco, 3223 Mission. You want to come out and meet me in person?
That's where we'll be.
Chris and I will be there in person.
If you want to meet Chuck in person, he'll tell you that your God is a bunch of bullshit, Any religious people that want to come out and meet Chuck, he'll
Yes,
tell
any
you all
religious
about your
people.
bullshit God.
Any religious people who've decided that religion's not really working out for them.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I decided it wasn't really working out for me, but I have an interesting trajectory because I was born Catholic, right? And the way that they did it with me and the way that they do it with a lot of Catholic kids is basically you're insulated. And I went to a Catholic school, and I
Yeah.
was an altar boy, and I have an
and
uncle
everyone else
who's a
is Catholic,
priest.
so you're like, oh, no, that must be what's true.
Yeah, so I mean, you're around Catholic kids and Catholic families,
Not
and you
kids,
go
it's
to
not
church.
true.
What's that?
It's not, kids, it's not true. It's a fairy
Yeah.
story, like Father Christmas. It exists in the imaginations of men and women, and it doesn't mean that it's not a good thing or that it doesn't exist. It's just not real.
So you're kind of insulated, and then you go off to college, and then you maybe take, like, this is what happened to me. I took some philosophy classes, and some of them were about religion. And one of the things they always do in philosophy classes is they question things relentlessly. And as soon as I started asking the right questions, I mean, I'm not saying I really was a super believer before this, but as soon as I started asking the right questions, it's pretty much over for me. And then I was kind of like mad about being kind of indoctrinated and insulated in this religion, and kind of mad about it. But then over the last 5 years, so then and this is when I was about 18, 19. So then I kind of got out of the Catholic Church, stopped going to mass and stuff like that. And but then over the last maybe 5 years, I've found myself in this position of not really having a problem with religions. Like, I feel like there's a lot of good things that actually come from religions.
Yes.
And
There's plenty of good teachings in there.
Yeah.
It's just when people start taking it literally and killing each other over it.
Yeah, like I took that commandment, like don't thou shalt not kill literally, and it's not meant to be taken literally. If you want to kill some people, it's okay every once in a while.
It doesn't matter.
all
Look,
depends.
once in a while it's going to be right. A stop clock is right twice a day. You don't need some imaginary friend to tell you not to kill people. That's just about respecting other people.
And that other commandment that's about thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. I was like, okay, but it's cool to lie sometimes. It's not supposed to be taken
they're good
literally.
health manuals. They're good, useful health manuals. They've got there's some good stuff in there. Sure, there's a lot of bullshit as well. And then you start believing it literally. You've literally become. There's stories trying to explain the ineffable. Right, this is ineffable. It cannot be understood, and so you cannot really put it in a thing that any way to understand it. I mean, Jesus himself told parables. Was Jesus telling you those parables were literally true? No, they weren't. They're stories.
So I guess the understanding that I came around to is a lot of the things that I believe are true, what I would consider natural law. There's a big overlap with what I believe is a healthy way to live as a human and all the major religions of the world. Religions do get hijacked, so that's a problem.
Yeah, of course they do. Because
but
get everybody believing the same thing, and then a psychopath comes along and tells you, well, that's what they want. They give a power of you now.
Right. So, I just, I think my attitude about religions in general has become more accepting because I realize how much overlap I have. And I think maybe it's like a corny West Coast thing to say, but I feel like I'm, spiritual. Like, I do believe that there's something bigger than man. I do believe that there are things that we don't understand. I believe that we're all connected. And, these are kind of, I don't know, semi-religious beliefs, but, I just, personally, I think people should just, make their own choice of what works for them, as long as they're not harming people. So I don't hold it against people if they're Catholic or Buddhist.
I don't think people
Muslims
should believe bullshit.
What's that?
I don't think people should believe bullshit. I think it's toxic when people believe bullshit and take it literally. You can say, this is a good little instruction manual on how to live your life. And, this book's helpful to me and it helps me in these different ways. And, I can follow along to that book. But to say I believe it literally, you're literally admitting to being a moron.
Yeah, but I mean...
And then you say, this country gives you a right to be a fucking moron.
But I will tell you that...
okay, you've got a right to be a moron, I guess.
But people believe in all kinds of stuff that's not religious, that's wrong.
Yeah, well, you don't know what's true or not true. I suppose.
Like people believe in all kinds of stuff that's not true. Like, religion is not the only exception. In the way I would judge a religion is what harm or what good is done in its name, you know? Like if
Yeah.
your religion is going out and helping the poor and it's trying to educate people and it's trying to help people that are less fortunate, I'd say that's a good religion.
Yeah, well,
If
that's
your
what
religion is
Christianity's
trying,
supposed to be doing, but then other parts of it are using it to kill people, and they go, "Oh, that's
yeah,
the Seventh Day Adventists," or
well, it's
whatever.
kind of a mixed bag. It's kind of a mixed bag, I feel like. You know, it's like on the one hand, I mean, like I'm highly suspect of these missionaries, you know, it's like you're over there helping people, but you also have to save their souls, so you have to convert them or they'll go to hell. That's sketchy. You know,
Yeah.
it's like the idea that like some people that have been like living on their own and have their own society and their own culture and everything's cool, and they're most importantly, they're not asking for your help. They are not saying, "Hey, white person, please help us become civilized. Hey, white person, please save our soul." Like none of that is happening, but we gotta help them. Like that's sketchy.
Well, I don't know.
Like
I mean, people need help. You know, you are supposed to help
yeah,
people. I
yeah,
mean,
but if
like,
yeah,
what?
but when people need help, they ask for it. Like if a person's like on, you know, shot in the street, you know, shot in their leg, they'll be like, "Oh, please help me." Or you can go over to them and you say like, "Do you need help?" And they'll say yes. But if they're just sitting there living their life,
Yeah.
and you're like, "You look like you need help,"
Yeah, well,
like,
somebody's making some money off it. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah,
well,
that's a topic for another show. I don't know.
or
Yeah,
this show, Chuck's birth,
well, the trouble
Chuck's
is the devil's
birthday
in the
show.
details. I guess the devil's in the details.
The devil's in the
But we don't
details.
have time for details on this show today.
But God's also in the details. They're both in there.
We're just here to yell at people.
We're just here to yell. Yeah. So I think, you know, in conclusion, in summary,
You've been watching two angry old white guys.
if you want to meet two angry old white guys in person, you can come down to the Knockout tonight in San Francisco, where we'll be celebrating Chuck's silver years.
Yeah, my golden years, and well, we'll see.
Hey, do you know that there's a show called I thought this was a joke, but there really is a Bachelor, like a Golden Bachelor or something like that. I think it's called the Golden Bachelor, which sounds to me like a fetish video.
Yeah,
You know, the Golden Bachelor.
yeah. Isn't that Donald Trump? That video that Putin's got of Donald Trump?
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a guy that's got a lot of money, and he's just like, I'm hiring a bunch of prostitutes, and they're gonna pee on me, and that's what the Golden Bachelor is about. But the truth
Yeah,
is,
that's
there's
the
really
one.
there's really this show called The Golden Bachelor, which is about these old guys that are looking for like I don't know, the last love of their life, their autumn love. I mean, you know, these.
Oh yeah, okay, the autumn love. Yeah.
No, I mean it's a real thing. It's like
Yeah.
you know, it's like a real thing that's being put on by some network. Maybe the same network that puts on The Bachelor. I don't know anything about that show except I don't watch it. But yeah, so it's like the Golden Bachelor, and I said, you know, to Cheryl, I said, who's interested in this? Like, are young kids? I mean,
No, old people are interested.
if I was 70, I wouldn't be interested in this show. So who is interested in it? Like, you know what I mean? What's that?
You're hard to please. You require something with a.
I'm hard to please.
You
Yeah, I'm
require
hard.
something with a little sophistication.
I just want shows that I like. Look, all I demand from entertainment is that it entertains me. That's it. And that is not something that entertains me. You know, I just find those shows boring and tedious. It's like, it'd be like, you know, those annoying people that talk on their cell phone on the bus. It's like sitting extra close to them. That's how.
Yeah.
That's how I like
people
those
that
shows.
don't think anybody around them exists.
Yeah, I mean, I look at those shows and I say, these aren't real people. This is completely constructed. They're boring because real people are way more interesting than these people are. I don't know. They're boring. They're boring shows, so I don't watch them. But I mean, if a network takes a gamble on a show called The Golden Bachelor, they must have seen something in their data or their polling or whatever that suggests that somebody is interested in that.
Polling.
I mean, they do focus groups and stuff like that,
Is
and
that like
they
when pole dancing? Is that...
Yes, exactly. The pole dancer said, "How about more shows about 70-year-olds
Yeah,
looking
I
for
think
love?"
pole dance is kind of like that show.
All right, I got to put this guitar down, and then I got to pour myself a drink, and then I'll
Well, then
return.
we're supposed to be going, and that's the end of the
Now
show,
you
really.
behave yourself, Chuck. I'm
I
gonna
haven't
leave you
quite
alone for a little
finished.
while. Don't go off the rails.
I haven't quite finished Nina Hagen here. Well, that's the thing in this show that Greg was participating. They only had 20 minutes to do their drawing, and you have to do it on a canvas. So, I don't know. How would this one be doing me? I'm. That's all right. How would I be doing in the art battle? Would you be voting for me?
And now I want to talk a little bit about our unofficial sponsor, our sponsor that we're trying to court, Helix Vodka. Helix Vodka is smooth, and that's because I mix it with other things that are smooth. And the best part of it is it's got a classy label, because that's how I'm judging this vodka. And it says that the water is from Iceland and the spirit is from France. It says spirit of France, water of Iceland. I trust the water in Iceland because I went to Iceland and there's no people there. And the less people you have, the better your water is.
Bjork's
and it says,
there.
What's that?
Bjork, she's in Iceland.
Yeah, I trust it also because Bjork's there. And I feel like she wouldn't allow any old water to be hanging out with her.
No.
So it says it's 7 times distilled, which is some bullshit marketing stuff. And then it says optimally balanced pH of 7.4, which is probably what all vodka is. But anyway, the most important thing about this vodka is it's $20 per liter, which is very affordable. And it doesn't look like it's Kirkland brand, which is also...
so you can drink it all day.
If you're going to drink cheap vodka, you should drink cheap vodka that comes in a well-designed bottle. So no one's on to you. Yeah, when you drink Kirkland, they're on to you.
Yeah, you should start first thing in the morning before the hangover really kicks in.
That's right. I'm starting a little late. Well, I'm just drinking in honor of your 54th year. So
Thank you.
And I'm afraid I started a little late on that, because I had to drive my daughter to school. But now that all my driving responsibilities are over.
So, that's very good. Yeah, don't drink and drive, people, please.
Yeah. But anyway, actually, this stuff is pretty good, I think. Since we're talking about vodka, and since I can't stop you from talking about vodka, and all you want to do is talk about vodka, I'd just like to say that there's kind of two trains of thought online. One is that cheap vodka, and we were talking to Tina about this. There's 2 schools of thought. One is that cheap vodka actually does taste different and you get worse hangovers. And there's another school of thought that basically says vodka is all about branding, and that, basically there's no difference between a $20 bottle and a $100 bottle.
I'm in that second school.
And we were going to set up a taste test where we'd try to taste the difference, which we didn't do, but we're going to on one of your movie nights.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. Well, I think we have to call it the end of the show there. So we've got that to look forward to. Maybe we'll do a show about getting... All right. How does Nina Hart? Well, she's a bit flipped over. She looks a bit wonky on the screen. All right.
Yeah, I like her.
She looks all right. Okay.
I mean... If she happens to be at this show tonight, I would definitely try to talk to her.
All right. Well, Theresa Moore will be there. She's a very sexy lady.
Wait, Tina chimed in. Hummus is often seen as an unofficial national dish of Israel, reflecting its huge popularity and significance among the entire Israeli population, which Israel's critics describe as an appropriation of Lebanese, Palestinian, or Arab culture.
Okay. Okay, so they're fighting over the hummus too now.
Tina, you're not a vodka snob. You're not a vodka snob because you drink, what was it, Kettle One or something? Sky Vodka? That's not a vodka snob. Is it? We have to do the taste test. We'll see how your vodka snob taste buds hold up.
All right. Well, I never played the opening song, so it's just a closing song today. Oh, look, there were all these comments that I totally missed. Oh, there's Paul Griffiths. Oh, my God. I thought I had the comments up, but I really didn't.
I had the comments up, but I think I missed people.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Wait a second. Paul?
Oh, Paul says it's lost its chef and its Michelin rating, too.
Oh, shit. Paul, I didn't...
Well, that means it'll be cheaper now, so get in.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm kind of happy about that because I kind of like a family restaurant.
Tina's
Damn, it
telling us
lost.
off for the F words.
Oh, right. Actually, Paul, I read. I think my ex-wife told me about that. She said that like basically the owner put some demands on the chef and the assistant chef. I think it might have been like a husband-wife team, and they were basically, no, you're not putting these demands on us, and boom, we're gone.
Oh
And
dear.
that was the end of that restaurant. Watch it with the F-bomb, guys. Just
Yeah.
saying. I
All
think
right,
she's
thank you,
talking to
Tina.
me. She's probably just talking to me.
I think more the insulting of Arabs is really people. That's probably
Yeah.
more problematic.
Yeah, Chuck. Stop trying to start
I'm
a
sorry, guys. I
jihad
love you
here.
all. I know Muslim people. I know Jewish people. I love them all. There's no difference. That's all I'm saying. And on that bombshell,
Yes.
bad metaphor. Sorry. Here's
Tina does not drink Sky vodka.
Wait,
Let it be known.
They've changed everything here. Music.
Kettle One? What is it, Tina?
Oh, here it is. Okay.
What is that vodka?
All right. Okay. Here's the theme song. Bye, everybody.
Okay.
Here's a theme song for Chuck Whelan Showy. He asked me to write one, but I stole from David Bowie. Here's a theme song. Chuck Whelan is the best. We have lots of hosts, but we're running out of gas. Will you be our guest on? Will you be our guest on? Be on the Chuck Whelan Show. Whoa, 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 whoa.
If you're gonna have a show, you gotta have more guests, sweetie.
Oh, I forgot to end it.
Did we